Jayden.
And I'm Cole.
And today we're going to be talking over the podcast for the 22nd to the 27th. So today we're going to be going over the sports,
the lunch menu,
the teacher interview with the social studies teacher, Mr. Sparks,
8th grade interview with Hugo Diaz and Jayce
and this week's weather. So let's get into this fun podcast.
Hello, my name is McCaden. And my name is Cole. Welcome to this week's sports segment. On the 22nd, we have 6th grade volleyball at Ransom. Let's go, Lynx! 8th grade boys basketball, 3:30 to 5. 8th grade volleyball, 6:15 to 7:45. 7th grade volleyball, 5 to 7. Now for the 23rd, we have 6th grade volleyball at Bureau Valley. Let's go. Let's beat the storm. 7th and 8th volleyball versus Bureau Valley. 8th grade boys basketball, no practice. Now the 24th, we have 7th grade volleyball, 6:15 to 7:30. Put in the work. 6th grade volleyball at Holy Family. 8th grade boys basketball, 3:30 to 5. 8th grade volleyball, 5 to 6:30. Now the 25th, we have 7th and 8th grade volleyball at Peru Parkside. Let's beat the Ravens. 6th grade volleyball versus Peru Parkside. Intramural volleyball, 6:30 to 8. Kickball at Northwest, 3:15 to 4:50. Now the 26th, we have 8th grade boys basketball, 3:15 to 5. 8th grade volleyball, 6:15 to 7:30. 6th grade volleyball, no practice. Finally, the 27th, we have 8th grade boys basketball, IESA regionals. Let's win it. Thank you for tuning out on this week's sports segment. Bye!
Welcome to this week of lunch for Keeping Up with the Lynx. I'm Brady.
And I'm Gio, and today we'll be showing you the lunch for this week.
So let's get into it.
Breakfast for January 22nd will be French toast and peaches. I love French toast.
Lunch for the 22nd will be chicken nuggets, diced potatoes, and mixed fruit. Chicken nuggets are always good.
Breakfast for the 23rd will be cheese omelet, biscuit, and oranges. Oranges are so juicy.
And lunch for the 23rd will be corn dog, baked beans, and jello. I love jello.
On the 24th, breakfast will be chocolate chip muffin and apples. I don't like apples.
And lunch for the 24th, there will be pork fritter, carrots, and apples. I've never heard of a pork fritter, but it sounds good.
Breakfast for the 25th, there will be pancakes and oranges.
And lunch for the 25th will be diced chicken, vegetable, fried rice, and pineapple. This lunch sounds really good.
Breakfast for the 26th, there will be waffles and bananas.
And finally, for the 26th, lunch will be meatballs, green beans, and pears.
And that's all for lunch.
Bye.
Hi, I'm Kenji,
And I'm Jared.
and welcome to the weather for January 22nd through the 26th.
For Monday, January 22nd, there will be some freezing rain in the afternoon with the high being 33 degrees with a low of 32 degrees. Big difference. There will be a 40% chance of precipitation and winds 10 to 20 miles per hour. Be aware of the wind.
And for the 23rd, there will be rain at times, the high being 36 degrees and the low being 34 degrees. There will be a 63% chance of precipitation and winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. What a rainy week so far.
For the 24th, it will be cloudy with occasional showers, the high being 39 degrees and the low being 37 degrees. There will be a 60% chance of precipitation and winds of 5 to 10 miles per hour. I love the rain.
And on Thursday, January 25th, it will be cloudy with occasional showers with a high of 42 degrees and a low of 38 degrees. There will be a 60% chance of precipitation with winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. The weather is so much better now.
And lastly, for the 26th, there will be some showers in the morning with a high of 42 degrees and a low of 37 degrees. There will be a 37% chance of precipitation and winds of 5 to 10 miles per hour. Feels like spring to me.
Thank you so much for watching. What a heat wave compared to last week.
Bye.
I'm Callie.
I'm Martine.
And welcome back to this week's teacher interview.
Today we'll be interviewing Mr. Social Studies teacher, Mr. Sparks.
The first question is, what's your favorite book you've read?
Okay, so yeah, since I teach social studies, I read a lot of like history and biographies. So I read, books on World War II, biographies of presidents. I think though one of my favorite books I've read is a biography on Walt Disney. So the founder of the Disney Company. His life is a very fascinating topic. He was dirt poor before he moved out to California. He had barely any money, built that company from the ground up, and now it's like one of the largest entertainment companies and largest corporations in the world. So it's a very fascinating story. So definitely recommend that, either a biography on him or the one I read, which is about 600 pages. So maybe hold off on that for a few years, but yeah, it's one of the best books I've ever written, I didn't write it. One of the best books I've ever read. Yeah.
If you had one wish, what would it be and why?
One wish? Just all my friends and family are happy and healthy. The older I get, I don't want like material things. That's something that, as I get older, I realize is not very important. So as long as my friends, family, students, people I care about are happy and healthy, that's all I really want.
What does friendship mean to you?
Just being there for those who you consider friends. So just being open for them to talk to you, you talking to them, having somebody that you're safe communicating with. So I'm lucky. I've had 3 really good friends for almost my entire life, and even though we live out of state, we're always texting each other or calling each other. So I think everybody should have at least one person that they can, that's like outside their family, that they are comfortable in and safe to talk to. Yeah.
Why did you choose to be a social studies teacher?
I love history. I love the subject. I think it's a very important subject. Whether you guys think it's boring or not, it's a very important subject. So, ever since I was in grade school, I loved history, and I always thought about maybe I should teach it when I was in high school. I thought about teaching it, and then I went through a different career path, and then I eventually came back to it. And yeah, I realized after 10 years of teaching social studies, there's nothing else I really want to do.
What's your favorite concert that you ever went to?
So, do you guys know the Beatles?
No.
You know the Beatles? Okay. So, Paul McCartney is one of the founders of the Beatles. He wrote almost all the songs with John Lennon. So, the Beatles broke up in 1970. That was a long time before I was born. But I really loved their music. And so, John Lennon died in 1980, so I could never see him. George Harrison died before I became a Beatles fan. He was the guitar player, so I couldn't see him. So, there's only 2 left. There's Paul McCartney and Ringo Starr. But Paul McCartney is like the voice and soul behind the Beatles, and I saw him my senior year of college. I flew to Florida, drove to Miami, and saw him. He was amazing. He played for 3 hours, all of his big hits. Yeah, that was the most memorable concert, best concert I've ever been to. Yeah.
Who is the person you look up to the most?
So definitely not any like modern celebrities. I'm not going to point to one particular person, just like a group of people. The World War II generation, I think, is a generation that we all should look up to and admire. A lot of those men and women, stopped what they were doing and served their country for either 1 to 4 years, 5 years. Some of them gave their lives for it. And they really helped save the world from like tyranny, and I really appreciate that generation. And a lot of them are in like their 90s or 100 years old by this point, so it's good to pay your respects to them before it's too late.
What's your favorite place that you've ever visited?
Yeah, so I've been to some pretty cool places. I think every time I go to Washington D.C., that's just like my place. There's the museums, the government buildings, the White House. I just love going to Washington D.C. And it's not too far from a lot of different historic sites. Like Philadelphia is not too far, but a train ride up to Philadelphia, New York. And also there's a lot of Civil War battlefields in Virginia that you can visit. So I would say that's probably my place. If I wanted to go to a place for like a weekend, I just go to D.C.
Makes sense.
What is your favorite topic to talk about in social studies?
So the topic we just went over, the American Revolution, so the causes of the American Revolution, I love that. I just love that time period. Very complicated time period, very hard life for those people that live there, but very fascinating the way our country was a colony, and then it became independent nation, and there was no guarantee that we were going to survive, but we did. So that's a very interesting topic, and I love talking about all those events.
And that's all for this week's teacher interview.
Hello and welcome to this week's student interview. Hi, I'm David.
And I'm Hector. Today we will be interviewing Hugo Diaz and Jayce Wyden.
First question: what's the best food you ever tried?
Mine's probably chicken because it's really good.
Mine's probably mac and cheese because I really like how it's like with like spaghetti noodles and stuff, and then it's got like cheese. It's really good.
Moving on, what's your favorite season of the year? Like fall, winter?
My favorite season is spring because it's like a mix of all the weathers, so it's not hot or not too cold.
I like winter because I get to play basketball more because it's like less warmer outside. So I can go on the courts more and play more.
What's your favorite holiday?
My favorite holiday is probably Christmas because I get to spend time with my family.
My favorite is probably Christmas because I get presents.
What's your least favorite sport?
Hockey because I don't want to get injured.
Mine's probably hockey too because every time I play with the stick, I always get hit in the shin.
Mine's probably hockey too. I don't like it at all.
What do you mostly do after school?
I'll go to the Y and practice basketball.
Yes, and I'll go to the line and practice basketball, and then I'll beat them in a 1v1 usually.
What's the best shoe brand in your opinion?
Nike because there's a lot of options.
Yeah, same Nike. Because there's like Jordan, and there's like multiple players' basketball shoes. They're really nice.
Last question: are you scared to go to high school?
No, because I already have an algebra class, so I already know what it's like there.
I'm not because I've already been there before and it doesn't look that bad.
That's it for today's interview. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Hi, I'm Damien,
And I'm Kaden.
and welcome back to this week's Lynx podcast poll questions.
One of the questions we asked you is, what is your favorite cereal? In third place is Fruit Loops with 11.4% of the votes.
And in second place is Cheerios with 20% of the votes. And in first place is Cinnamon Toast Crunch with 62.9% of the votes. Man, I just love myself some Cinnamon Toast Crunch. The next question we asked you is if you always have a Valentine each year. In first place, you have yes at 40%. In second place, you have a tie. Both maybe and no having 30% of the votes.
And another one of the questions we asked you is, what is your favorite sport? And in first place, we have basketball with 28.6% of the votes. And in second place, we have volleyball with 20% of the votes. And in third place, we have a tie between soccer and football, both of the sports having 11.4% of the votes. For the next question, we asked you, what is your favorite subject in school was? In first place, we have PE with 52.9% of the votes.
In second place, you have English with 17.6% of the votes. Pretty much because English is easy. For third place, you have math. Math is overrated. Anyway, 14.7% of the votes went to math. For the fifth question, we asked you what your favorite shoe brand is. In first place, we have Nike with 57.1% of the votes. And in second place, we have Jordan with 22.9% of the votes.
In third place, we have Ugg with 2.9% of the votes. Keep in mind, there were a lot of shoe brands we listed. We just picked Uggs randomly.
This week's Gatorade winner is Montserrat Zamudio. And that's it for this week's poll questions. See you next time. Peace. This was a pretty fun podcast. This week's Gatorade winner for student poll questions is Montserrat Zamudio.
And don't forget to subscribe and share our video with all your friends.
You can find us on YouTube and Spotify.
In the words of Mr. Fox, it's a great day
To be a Lynx.